us our president of our provincial body, our Métis Nation of BC. I'm going to ask her to say a few words, and then I'm going to read the last speech of Louis Riel before he was hung for high treason. So I'm going to turn it over to our president, Clara Del Warren. Warren Del Call. Sorry, I did it backwards again. I'll figure it out yet. One day.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for being here. What a beautiful turnout. And I really appreciate that you're here to celebrate this important day with us. November 16th, Louis Riel Day. He fought for us, our first politician, so we could be where we are today, and we are moving forward in a good, positive way. He'd be proud of where we're going. And so thank you for being here, and be proud. Never forget who you are as Métis. Be proud of who you are, and we'll continue his journey and moving forward. Thank you for being here.
Hello everyone, my name is Cassidy Karen. I'm the Provincial Youth Chairperson for Métis Nation British Columbia and the Minister responsible for youth. I'm honored to be here today, and I'm really excited to see our flag hung high and here to celebrate Louis Riel Day. Louis Riel fought for our rights so that our youth could benefit, and we're still doing that today, and I'm so excited to see all of the youth out here today and everyone participating in our culture. So thank you for being here.
So if you just bear with me, I'm going to read you a little bit of context on what brought this speech about. So Louis Riel trial was one of the biggest spectacles in Canadian history. He was charged with high treason for leading the Northwest Rebellion. Riel wanted to use the platform for his trial to help vindicate himself. He says, "I was not taken prisoner. I surrendered on purpose. I wanted to be judged on the merits of my actions. From the time of my arrival in Saskatchewan, I worked peacefully. We didn't make any aggressive military moves. In Batoche, we defended ourselves." If anybody knows the Battle of Batoche, it's one of the premier historical battles in Canada. The Métis Nation is one of the only nations in the world that has ever gone to war with Canada. We were peaceful, but we were pushed to the point where we had to fight and defend ourselves. And Louis Riel took it upon himself to make sure that we had a voice. In turn, the government did all it could to muzzle the Métis leader. It wished to dispose of the man who led two uprisings in our country's brief history. The trial was moved from Winnipeg to Regina when the government discovered that the Manitoba jury could be half Métis. And on that jury, of 6 men on that Regina jury, only one person spoke French. Prime Minister John A. Macdonald decided to charge Riel with high treason based on an obscure British law dating back to the year 1342. This carried the death penalty, whereas Canadian treasons did not. The trial began on July 20th, 1885. It was a sweltering day, made more oppressive by the hordes of people wanting to view the spectacle in Regina. The city was packed with officials, lawyers, as well as reporters from around the world. People lined up for hours outside the courtroom, willing to pay $10 to watch the biggest trial in Canadian history. The trial lasted 4 days. Riel addressed the court, listing the undemocratic treatment of Métis on the prairies and outlining his vision for a diverse society. So what I'm going to read now is the last statement of Louis Riel. Regina, Friday, July 31st, 1985. When I came into the Northwest in July, the 1st of July, 1884, I found the Indians suffering. I found the half-breeds eating rotten pork of the Hudson Bay Company and getting sick and weak every day. Although a half-breed, and having no pretension to help the whites, I also paid attention to them. I saw they were deprived of responsible government. I saw that they were deprived of their public liberties. I remembered that the half-breed meant white and Indian. And while I paid attention to the suffering of the Indians and of the half-breeds, I remembered that the greatest part of my heart and blood was white. And I have directed my attention to help the Indians, to help the half-breeds, and to help the whites to the best of my ability. We have made petitions. I have made petitions with others to the Canadian government, asking to relieve the condition of this country. We have taken time. We have tried to unite all classes, even, if I may speak, all parties. The agitation in the Northwest Territories would have been constitutional and would have certainly been constitutional today if, in my opinion, we had not been attacked. When we sent petitions to the government, they used to answer us by sending police. And when the rumors were increasing every day that Riel has been shot here or there, or that Riel is going to be shot by such and such a man, the police would not pay any attention to it. I am glad the Crown, I am glad that with the Crown have proved that I am the leader of the half-breeds in the Northwest, and perhaps be one day acknowledged as more than a leader of the half-breeds. And if I am to have an opportunity of being acknowledged as a leader of good in this great country. Those are the last words spoken by Louis Riel. And he wanted what we all wanted. He wanted to be able to work together, to have success, to have our young people live in a world where we didn't have the differences. We didn't have the racism. We didn't have all of these things that are tearing us apart as communities. I look at all of us here today. This is a small community within Langley, but within our province, within our country, we are all equal. And that's what Louis Riel was fighting for. And so we celebrate this day, not because he was hung, but for what he fought for and what he believed in. And we continue that pursuit today. And we are thankful that we have others who have joined in this pursuit to stand beside us and stand behind us and support us. And for that, we thank you all for being here today and for being a part of this day. Thanks. So I'm going to ask President Clara to raise the flag in honor of this commemorative day.